Interior of a modest home in Nairobi. Rain pounds against a tin roof. The room is dimly lit, sparse furnishings, a few family photos on the walls. Amara, 28, beautiful with tired eyes, sits on a worn couch, cradling Jabari, 3, in her arms. Narrator: the Nairobi rain hammered against the tin roof like an endless drumbeat, each drop a reminder of how quickly life could wash away everything you thought was certain. Amara Okeke held her 3-year-old son Jabari closer, feeling his small body tremble with each crash of thunder. Amara, softly, it's just the sky talking, my little lion. Nothing to fear. Jabari buries his face in his mother's neck. His forehead is warm with fever. Jabari, whimpering, make it stop, mama. Amara, kissing his forehead, I would stop all the storms for you if I could. The door bursts open. Kwame, 30, once handsome but now gaunt and disheveled, staggers in, soaking wet. His movements are erratic, eyes bloodshot. Kwame, slurring, where is everyone? Amara. Amara tenses, holding Jabari tighter. Amara, quietly, we're here, Kwame. Please, keep your voice down. Jabari just fell asleep. Kwame, ignoring her, did anyone come looking for me? Mwangi? Did he come here? Amara, no one came. Kwame, you're dripping water everywhere. Let me get you a towel. Amara starts to rise, but Kwame waves her off, pacing frantically. Kwame, I don't need a towel. I need money. Where's the money I left here last week? Amara's face falls. She glances down at Jabari, who is watching his father with wide, frightened eyes. Amara, hesitant, I used it for Jabari's medicine. He has a chest infection. The doctor said without antibiotics it could turn into pneumonia. Kwame, face darkening, you did what? Amara, he's your son, Kwame. He needed medicine. Kwame upends a small wooden table, sending a clay bowl crashing to the floor. Jabari begins to cry. Kwame, that money wasn't yours to spend. I needed it. Mwangi is waiting for me right now. I owe him. Amara, standing, voice stronger, you always owe someone. First it was the casino, then it was Mwangi, then it was those men from Eastlands. When does it end? Kwame, bitter laugh, when I win big. One good night is all I need. Amara, that's what you said 3 months ago. And 6 months before that. We have nothing left, Kwame. Nothing. Kwame begins rummaging through drawers, tossing items onto the floor. Narrator: the gambling had started 3 years ago, shortly after Jabari was born. A few friendly wagers on football matches. Then came the trips to the casino in the tourist district. The loans followed. And finally, the drugs, something to calm his nerves, Kwame had explained. Something to help him focus so he could win back what he'd lost. Kwame finds a small locked box hidden in a cabinet. He smashes it against the wall until it breaks open. Inside is a meager collection of coins and small bills, Amara's emergency fund. Amara, desperate, no. Kwame, please. That's for emergencies. For Jabari's school fees. Kwame, scooping up the money, this is an emergency. Amara lunges forward, grabbing his arm. Amara, I won't let you take it. Not this time. Kwame shoves her back. She stumbles but maintains her balance, still holding Jabari. Kwame, eyes darting wildly, it's not enough. I need more. Where's the rest? Amara, voice breaking, there is no more. We've sold everything. Kwame's gaze settles on the gold band around Amara's finger, his mother's ring, given to her on their wedding day. Kwame, the ring. Give me the ring. Amara, stepping back, no. Not this. Please, Kwame. This is all I have left of the man I married. Kwame, advancing, then you have nothing. He lunges for her hand. Amara pulls away, turning to shield Jabari. Amara, what happened to you? The Kwame I married would never. Kwame, interrupting, shouting, that man is gone. Now give me the ring or get out. Jabari is fully crying now, clutching his mother's dress. Jabari, Mama, I'm scared. Amara, to Kwame, look what you're doing to your son. Kwame, after a long pause, voice cold, get out. Both of you. Get out. Amara, disbelieving, what? Kwame, you heard me. Out. I need this place. Mwangi will buy it. Amara, you're selling our home? Kwame, sneering, it's my home. My name is on the papers. Amara, pleading, please, Kwame. Think of your son. It's raining. Where will we go? Kwame, that's not my concern. He grabs her arm, marching her toward the door, Jabari wailing in her embrace. Amara, struggling, let go of me. Kwame, please. This isn't you. This is the drugs talking. Kwame, opening the door, out. With one final push, Amara and Jabari stumble out into the relentless rain. The door slams behind them with devastating finality. Amara stands frozen for a moment, the reality of what just happened washing over her with the rain. Jabari, through tears, Mama, why is Baba angry? Amara kneels down, looking into Jabari's eyes, rain mixing with her tears. Amara, Baba is sick, my love. But we'll be okay. I promise you. She adjusts her wrap to cover Jabari's head, quickly grabbing a small bag she had kept packed by the door, preparation for a moment she had feared would come. Narrator, with nowhere to go and the night stretching endlessly before them, Amara took her first step away from the only home her son had ever known. The weight of uncertainty pressed down harder than the rain, but the instinct to protect her child drove her forward, one painful step at a time. Nairobi streets, night, rain continues to pour. Amara walks with Jabari in her arms, seeking shelter. They pass closed shops, other homeless individuals huddled in doorways. Narrator, the rain showed no mercy as Amara trudged through Nairobi's emptying streets. Each step took them further from what had been home and into an uncertain night with no destination. Jabari's small body burned with fever against her chest, despite the cold rain soaking them both. Amara spots an empty doorway of a closed shop and hurries toward it, setting Jabari down and leaning against the wall, trying to shield him with her body. Jabari, weakly, Mama, I'm hungry. Amara, forcing a smile, soon, my little lion. Very soon. She rummages through the small bag she managed to grab, a change of clothes for Jabari, his wooden lion toy, and the antibiotics. Her hands tremble as she opens the medicine bottle. Amara, time for your medicine, Jabi. Jabari, making a face, it tastes bad. Amara, I know, sweetheart, but it will make you strong again. Like the lions in the stories Grandpa tells. Jabari reluctantly takes the medicine. Amara pulls out the carved wooden lion. Amara, look who came with us. Lion wants you to be brave tonight. Jabari clutches the toy, his eyes growing heavy. Jabari, where will we sleep, Mama? Amara, hesitating, we'll find a place tonight, and tomorrow, we'll go to Auntie Zuri's house. Narrator, it was a comforting lie. Zuri, her cousin, lived 3 towns away, and Amara had no money for transport. But Jabari needed hope, and so she would give it to him, even if she had none left for herself. Time passes. Jabari falls asleep against Amara's shoulder. The rain continues. Amara begins walking again, her steps slow and weary. Amara, to herself, just keep moving. Find somewhere dry. Just until morning. A sleek black car appears, driving slowly alongside her. Amara tenses, clutching Jabari closer, walking faster. Voice from Sar, excuse me. Amara ignores it, quickening her pace. Voice from Sar, please, miss. You need help. The car pulls ahead and stops. The driver's door opens, and David Okafor, 35, tall, well-dressed in a business suit, steps out. He keeps a respectful distance, hands visible. David, I've been watching you for the past 10 minutes. Your child looks ill. Please, let me help. Amara, suspicious, we're fine. David, he needs to be out of this rain. I'm David Okafor. I own the Kilimanjaro Hotel 3 blocks from here. At least let me give you a room for the night. Amara studies his face, looking for any sign of deception. Amara, why would you help strangers? David, expression softening, because my mother and I were once standing where you are now. And someone helped us. Amara hesitates, glancing down at Jabari's feverish face. Amara, I have no money to pay you. David, I'm not asking for payment. Amara, defensive, I'm not looking for that kind of arrangement either. David, genuinely shocked, that's not, I would never, I just want to help. A room, some food, a doctor for your son. Nothing more. Rain continues to pour. Jabari coughs in his sleep. Narrator, in that moment, Amara faced the most difficult decision a mother can make, to trust a stranger when every instinct screams caution, or to risk her child's health in the name of that same caution. Amara, finally, one night. Just until the rain stops. David nods, relieved. He opens the car's back door but doesn't approach her. David, please, get in. I'll drive us. Amara hesitates, then climbs in, still holding Jabari protectively. David, getting into the driver's seat, thank you for trusting me. I promise you won't regret it. The car pulls away, windshield wipers fighting against the downpour. Amara, whispering to sleeping Jabari, hold on, my lion. Help is coming. Kilimanjaro Hotel lobby, night. Elegant, warmly lit space with African-inspired decor. David leads Amara, still carrying Jabari, through the lobby. Staff members stare curiously at the bedraggled pair accompanying their boss. Narrator, the Kilimanjaro Hotel stood as an oasis of warmth and light amidst the storm-darkened streets. As David guided Amara through the elegant lobby, she became acutely aware of her sodden clothes and disheveled appearance against the backdrop of luxury. Receptionist, female, 20s, looks up in surprise. Receptionist, good evening, Mr. Okafor. David, authoritative but kind, prepare the Serengeti suite immediately, Nala. And call Dr. Mutua, tell him it's urgent. A child with fever and possible pneumonia. Receptionist, glancing at Amara and Jabari, yes, sir. Right away. David, and send up a meal. Soup for the child, and a full dinner for the lady. David turns to Amara, who looks overwhelmed. David, let's get your son comfortable. The doctor will be here soon. Int. Serengeti suite, night. Spacious luxury suite with separate bedroom and living area. African art on walls, plush furnishings. Amara stands just inside the doorway, stunned by the opulence. Amara, this is too much. We can't accept. David, gently interrupting, you can and you will. At least for tonight. Tomorrow, you can decide what comes next. Amara gently lays Jabari on the king-sized bed. He stirs but doesn't wake. Amara, touching his forehead, he's burning up. David, Dr. Mutua is the best in Nairobi. He'll be here soon. A knock at the door. David answers it to reveal Dr. Mutua, 50s, kind face, carrying medical bag. Dr. Mutua, David. You said it was urgent? David, gesturing toward the bedroom, the boy has a high fever. Possible pneumonia. Dr. Muchua approaches the bed, offering a reassuring smile to Amara. Dr. Muchua, I'm Dr. Muchua. May I examine him? Amara nods, stepping back but watching closely as the doctor examines Jabari. Dr. Muchua, after examination, you were right to be concerned. It's early pneumonia, exacerbated by exposure to the rain. He needs antibiotics, fluids, and rest. You've been giving him medication? Amara, yes. For 3 days now. Dr. Muchua, good. That likely prevented it from being much worse. Dr. Muchua administers medication and leaves detailed instructions for Jabari's care. After he leaves, Amara returns to the living area to find David waiting with a spread of food laid out. David, you should eat. Amara hesitates, then sits across from him. Amara, thank you. But I need to understand why you're doing this. David considers the question, then sets down his cutlery. David, 20 years ago, my father lost everything to gambling. He threw my mother and me out onto the streets. We had nowhere to go until an old woman took us in. She owned a small hotel, nothing like this place, but she gave us shelter, food, and eventually, work. Amara looks up, surprised by the parallel to her own situation. David, I promised myself that if I ever saw someone in the situation we had been in, I would help. Amara's composed facade begins to crack. Tears well in her eyes. Amara, my husband. David, you don't need to explain. Amara, shaking head, I want to. Over the meal, Amara shares her story, meeting Kwame at university, their dreams of building a life together, his gradual descent into addiction after losing his job, the gambling debts, the transformation of the man she loved into someone she no longer recognized. Amara, he wasn't always like this. Before the gambling, before the drugs, he was kind, ambitious, loving. The best father to Jabari. The man you saw tonight isn't the real Kwame. David, addiction changes people. It's a disease. Amara, that's what I kept telling myself. For 3 years, I kept believing he would come back to us. But tonight. Her voice trails off, emotion overwhelming her. David waits patiently, not pushing. Amara, composing herself, I need to find work. Build a new life for Jabari. David, after a thoughtful pause, the hotel is looking for a guest services manager. Someone who understands people, can anticipate their needs. Amara, suspicious, I don't need charity. David, it's not charity. It's an opportunity. You have a degree in hospitality management, yes? Amara, surprised, how did you know? David, smiling slightly, you mentioned studying with Kwame at Strathmore University. They're known for their hospitality program. Amara, I never finished my degree. Jabari came along in my final year. David, experience matters more than paper qualifications in this business. Think about it. The position comes with accommodation in the staff quarters. Amara looks torn, both grateful and wary. Amara, why would you trust a stranger with such a position? David, I'm a good judge of character. It's how I've built this business. A cry comes from the bedroom. Jabari has awakened. Amara, standing quickly, I should go to him. David, rising, of course. We can talk more tomorrow. Rest tonight. Amara pauses at the bedroom door. Amara, thank you, Mr. Okafor. David, please. Amara, small smile, thank you, David. As Amara disappears into the bedroom, David stands alone, a thoughtful expression on his face. Narrator, sometimes salvation comes in unexpected forms, a stranger's kindness, an opportunity disguised as charity, a moment of trust in a world that has given you every reason to be suspicious. For Amara, that rainy night marked not an ending, but the first fragile beginnings of something new. Series of scenes showing passage of time, Amara in hotel uniform greeting guests with warm professionalism, Jabari playing in hotel daycare with other children, Amara and David in meetings, discussing hotel operations, Jabari growing slightly taller, healthier. Narrator, 2 months passed in a blur of change. Amara had accepted David's job offer, initially on a trial basis, but her natural warmth and attention to detail quickly made her indispensable. She managed guest services with an intuitive understanding that went beyond training, anticipating needs, solving problems before they escalated, turning first-time visitors into loyal patrons. Int. Hotel lobby, day. Amara at reception desk, handling check-in for an elderly couple. Elderly woman, concerned, my husband needs a room away from the elevator. The noise disturbs his sleep. Amara, warm smile, I've already arranged for you to have our acacia suite on the quiet side of the building, Mrs. Mboya. And I've scheduled the chef to prepare the special low-sodium meals you mentioned in your reservation notes. The elderly couple exchanges surprised, pleased looks. Elderly man, you remembered from our last visit 6 months ago? Amara, of course. Your comfort is our priority. David watches this interaction from across the lobby, impressed. Later, as Amara completes her shift, he approaches the reception desk. David, you have a gift, Amara. That was the third guest today who specifically mentioned how well you took care of them. Amara, modest, I just pay attention. David, it's more than that. You genuinely care. Jabari comes running from the daycare area, now vibrant and healthy, his earlier illness a distant memory. Jabari, Mama. Look what I made. He proudly displays a colorful drawing of what appears to be 3 figures, a woman, a child, and a taller man. Amara, kneeling down, it's beautiful, Jabi. Who are these people? Jabari, that's you, that's me, and that's Uncle David. Amara looks up at David, slightly embarrassed. David smiles, clearly touched. David, to Jabari, is that me? I'm honored to be in your picture. Jabari, can we have ice cream? You promised yesterday. David, laughing, so I did. If your mother approves? Amara nods, watching the easy rapport between them with a mixture of gratitude and another emotion she's not quite ready to name. Amara, 10 minutes only. It's almost bedtime. As Jabari chatters excitedly to David about his day, Amara observes them, a soft expression on her face. Narrator, each day brought new routines, new stability. The staff quarters had become a real home, with photographs on the walls and Jabari's drawings proudly displayed on the refrigerator. The constant fear that had been Amara's companion for so long began to recede, replaced by cautious hope. Later that evening. Int. Small apartment in staff quarters. Amara putting Jabari to bed. Jabari, sleepily, Mama, when is Baba coming to see us? Amara freezes, caught off guard by the question. Amara, carefully, I don't know, my love. Jabari, Uncle David said maybe Baba is sick and needs doctors to help him get better. Like I needed Dr. Muchua when I was sick. Amara, surprised, Uncle David said that? Jabari, nodding, he said sometimes grown-ups get sick in ways we can't see. Amara tucks him in, processing this information. Amara, that's very true. Your father. Baba is sick in a way that's hard to explain. But that doesn't mean he doesn't love you. Jabari, yawning, I hope he gets better. Amara, kissing his forehead, sleep now, my lion. Int. Apartment living room, night. Amara sits alone, looking at an old photo of Kwame holding baby Jabari, both smiling. A knock at the door interrupts her thoughts. Amara opens the door to find David standing there, holding a folder. David, I'm sorry to disturb you so late. I wanted to discuss something before tomorrow's management meeting. Amara, of course. Come in. David enters, noticing the photo still in her hand. Amara quickly sets it down. David, gently, you miss him. Amara, defensive, I miss who he was. There's a difference. David, nodding, I understand. Amara, changing subject, Jabari mentioned something you told him. About his father being sick. David, hesitant, I hope I didn't overstep. Amara, no. It was kind. Truthful in a way he could understand. David, children need to know their parents love them, even when those parents are struggling. A moment of understanding passes between them. Amara, indicating folder, you wanted to discuss something? David, coming back to business, yes. I'm planning to expand the hotel chain. Open new properties in Mombasa, Kisumu, and eventually into Tanzania and Uganda. Amara, impressed, that's ambitious. David, I want you to be part of it. Not just as an employee, but as a partner. Amara, shocked, a partner? David, I have no money to invest, no experience in. David, interrupting, you have something more valuable. You understand people. You see their needs before they even express them. That's a gift, Amara. One I need for this business to grow. Amara studies his face, searching for hidden motives but finding only sincerity. Amara, why me? You barely know me. David, I know enough. I've watched you rebuild your life from nothing. I've seen your integrity, your intelligence, your dedication. He places the folder on the table, opening it to reveal business plans, projections. David, more hesitant, there's something else. I've developed feelings for you, Amara. Strong feelings. But I want you to know that the business proposal stands regardless of how you respond to my personal admission. Amara stands, moving to the window, processing this confession. Amara, this is unexpected. David, I understand if you don't feel the same way. Your life has been upended. You're still legally married. There's Jabari to consider. Amara, turning to face him, Jabari adores you. David, hopeful, and you? Amara, vulnerable, I've been so focused on surviving, on creating stability for Jabari, that I've barely acknowledged other feelings. David, stepping closer, I'm not asking for an immediate answer to either proposal. Just think about it. They stand close, the air between them charged with possibility. Amara, softly, I care for you too, David. But there's so much to consider. David, nodding, we have time. As he turns to leave, Amara makes a decision. She reaches for his hand. Amara, thank you. Not just for tonight, but for everything. For seeing value in me when I had forgotten it myself. Their hands remain linked, a bridge between past trauma and future possibility. Narrator, in that quiet moment, something shifted, not just between them, but within Amara herself. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to imagine a future constructed not around mere survival, but around joy, partnership, and possibility. Kilimanjaro Hotel Gardens, Day. 4 years later. The garden has been transformed with Ghana-inspired decorations, yellow and orange marigolds, traditional Kent cloth patterns, elegant white chairs arranged in rows. A celebration is being prepared. Narrator, 4 years can change everything, or nothing at all. For Amara, they had brought healing, growth, professional success, and gradually blooming love. The scars remained, they always would, but they no longer defined her story. Int. Hotel Suite, Day. Amara, now 32, being helped into a wedding gown of cream and gold, with traditional Kent cloth incorporated into its modern design. Her cousin Zuri adjusts the dress. Zuri, emotional, you look beautiful, Amara. Amara, touching the fabric, I never thought I'd wear white again. Zuri, after everything you've been through, you deserve this happiness. A knock at the door. Jabari, now 7, enters, handsome in his miniature suit. Jabari, excitedly, Mama. Everyone's waiting. Uncle David looks so nervous. Amara kneels to his level, adjusting his bow tie. Amara, and how are you feeling, my little lion? Ready for your big role? Jabari, proudly, I've been practicing giving you away. Baba showed me how to walk slow and serious. Amara's expression registers surprise. Amara, Baba helped you practice? Jabari, nodding, he said it's a very important job. Amara exchanges a look with Zuri, one of amazement and gratitude. Zuri, quietly, he's come a long way. Nodding, we all have. EXT, Hotel Gardens, Day. The ceremony is about to begin. Guests seated. David waits at the altar, handsome in traditional attire, nervous but happy. At the back, Kwame, now healthy-looking, sober, with a quiet dignity, stands with Jabari and Amara. Kwame, to Amara, David is a good man. Amara, sincerely, thank you for being here. For Jabari. For supporting this. Kwame, with self-awareness, I lost the right to your love a long time ago. But I've gained something else, the chance to be a father to our son. To be someone he can respect. He looks down at Jabari, who beams up at him. Kwame, to Jabari, remember what we practiced? Straight back, slow steps. Jabari, seriously, I won't let Mama down. Music begins. Kwame squeezes Amara's hand once, then steps away to take his seat, next to a kind-looking woman, his new girlfriend. The procession begins. Jabari walks beside Amara, small hand placed ceremonially on hers, giving her away. As they approach the altar, David's face is full of love and wonder. Narrator, as David approached, handsome in his traditional attire, Amara's mind drifted to the journey that had brought them here. The Kilimanjaro Hotel Group now had properties in 5 Kenyan cities, with plans for expansion into Tanzania and Uganda. She had indeed become David's business partner, her intuitive understanding of hospitality proving invaluable to their success. Amara and David exchange vows. In the audience, hotel staff who have become family, Kwame watching respectfully, David's mother who has welcomed Amara warmly, and in the front row, an elderly woman, the one who had once given David and his mother shelter when they had nothing. David, during vows, you once asked why I helped you that night. It was because I recognized in you the same strength my mother had, the determination to protect her child at all costs. Amara, replying, and I recognized in you the compassion that changes lives. They exchange rings. Jabari stands nearby, beaming with pride. Minister, I now pronounce you husband and wife. They kiss. Applause erupts. Jabari rushes forward to embrace them both. Jabari, are we a family now? Officially? David, kneeling down, we've been a family for a long time, Jabi. This just makes it official on paper. Reception, later. Dancing, celebration. Amara and David share a quiet moment away from the crowd. David, holding her close, from chaos to this. I never thought I'd be so lucky. Amara, life is full of storms. But sometimes they wash you right where you need to be. Their attention is drawn to Jabari, dancing exuberantly with both his grandmothers, Amara's mother and David's mother, who have become close friends. Amara, look at them. From different lives, different paths, now family. David, that's the beauty of chosen family. We heal together. Across the reception, Amara notices Kwame preparing to leave. She excuses herself and approaches him. Amara, you're leaving early? Kwame, nodding, I think it's best. But thank you for including me today. Amara, sincere, you'll always be Jabari's father. That makes you family, Kwame. Kwame, emotional, 2 years sober next month. Amara, proud, I know. Jabari tells me about your meetings. The volunteer work you're doing at the recovery center. Kwame, with humility, trying to give back. Help others avoid my mistakes. Amara, that night in the rain. I thought it was the end of everything. Kwame, regretful, I'm sorry. For all of it. Amara, with perspective, that night led me here. To this life. This happiness. Maybe we needed to break so we could rebuild, separately, but better. David approaches, respectful of their conversation. David, to Kwame, we're taking Jabari to the coast next weekend. He'd love you to come for a day while we're there. Kwame looks surprised at the invitation. Kwame, to David, you'd be comfortable with that? David, honest, Jabari needs his father in his life. A good father, which you're becoming. That matters more than any discomfort I might feel. The three adults share a moment of understanding, complex, imperfect, but sincere. Jabari runs up, breaking the moment. Jabari, Baba. Come dance with me before you go. Kwame allows himself to be pulled to the dance floor by his son, shooting a grateful look back at Amara and David. David, to Amara, you're an extraordinary woman, Amara Okafor. Amara, smiling at her new name, and you're a good man, David Okafor. The best I've known. They rejoin the celebration, moving through groups of well-wishers, hotel staff who have become family, business associates who have become friends, two families now joined as one. Narrator, around them, guests celebrated with music and laughter, the joy of the occasion radiating outward. And in that moment, surrounded by the family they had built from the remnants of broken dreams, Amara knew with absolute certainty that even the darkest clouds eventually give way to sunlight. Final scene, Amara, David and Jabari stand together at the edge of the reception, watching the sunset over Nairobi's skyline. Jabari, pointing to the horizon, look. The sky is on fire. David, arm around Amara, it's beautiful, isn't it? Like a painting. Amara, reflective, my grandmother used to say that sunsets are God's way of promising that no matter how dark the night gets, morning will always come. David takes Amara's hand, the gold band on her finger catching the last rays of sunlight. David, what are you thinking about? Amara, smiling, the journey. That night in the rain. How sometimes the worst moments of our lives can lead us to the best ones. Jabari tugs at both their hands. Jabari, can we dance more? The band is playing my favorite song. David, laughing, lead the way, little lion. As they follow Jabari back to the celebration, Amara pauses for one last look at the sunset. Amara, voiceover, life rarely gives us what we expect. Sometimes it takes everything away before giving us what we need. The storms come for all of us eventually. But if we're brave enough to keep walking, to keep believing, sometimes we find ourselves exactly where we're meant to be, not despite the rain, but because of it. The three of them join hands, stepping back into the light and music of the celebration, silhouetted against the golden horizon, a family forged through chaos, strengthened by love, and bound together by choice rather than circumstance. Narrator, and so Amara's story continues, not as a tale of what was lost, but of what was found. Not defined by a single night of desperation, but by every choice that followed. Every step forward. Every act of courage. Every moment of forgiveness, including, perhaps most importantly, forgiveness of herself for staying too long, for leaving too late, for all the should-haves and could-haves that haunt us all. Final shot, the celebration in full swing, Amara and David dancing with Jabari between them, all three laughing, surrounded by their chosen family. A community built from the ground up. A future bright with possibility. Fade out.